I'm Dr. Joe Esposito, and welcome to our podcast, For the Health of It, episode 30. Remember to subscribe to this podcast, and I'll help you naturally get well and stay well.
The information presented on this program is not intended to take the place of your personal physician's advice, and it is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Discuss this information with your own physician or healthcare provider to determine what is right for you.
Are you suffering needlessly? Dr. Joe can give you advice on how to naturally get well and stay well. Dr. Joe Esposito.
I do appreciate you taking time to spend with me because we do cover a lot of good information. Because my goal, my team of doctors' goal as well, is to naturally get you well and keep you well. We want to give you the tools that you need to get well and stay well. And I always say you need three things in order to obtain and maintain that goal. You have to have a normally functioning nervous system. Now, as chiropractors, my team of doctors and I, we always want to make sure you don't have any pinched nerves. 90% of your nerves don't feel pain. I'll say that again. 90% of your nerves don't feel pain. You don't feel your thyroid, your spleen, your kidneys, your earwax, your blood pressure, all controlled by nerves. So when we have patients come in our offices, we check for the nerves that feel pain, neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain, but we also check the nerves that don't feel pain. And that's what makes us different than a lot of other doctors. And that's why a lot of other doctors will send their patients to us. Orthopedists, neurologists, chiropractors, psychiatrists, hospitals. Dr. Joe, please take a look at this patient for us. Have your doctors look at him because we're not sure what else to do. We've tried everything. We're kind of stuck. And a lot of people come to us and say, "We are my last hope." I said, "Okay, well, we wish we were your first hope. But if nothing else is working, let's check the nervous system for pinched nerves. Let's check the digestive system. Do you have acid reflux, heartburn, burping, gas, bloating, chronic cough, sinus problems? We may have to adjust or physically move the stomach around to get it to relax and the whole digestive system. And then we want to make sure you have a good diet. And that's why we have Dr. Joe supplements, because the supplements are going to get you the nutrients that you need. So many of you are deficient in nutrients. And all you have to do is change your diet a little bit, take some supplements, and solve the problem. It's not hard, and it's actually less expensive than what most of you are doing anyway, because the bad foods are the expensive ones. Most of the good food, pretty cheap. In fact, where was I? Oh yeah, that's right. I was shopping one day, and I saw their organic beans, cans of beans for like 89 cents a can. And I thought, if you had 2 cans of organic beans, let's assume it's $2 with tax, right? You can go to any fast food store and get $2 worth of food. I might put some filler in your gut. You couldn't eat 2 cans of beans. You'd be full, you'd have fiber, you have nutrients, you have phytonutrients, you'd have a bunch of other things going on that your body needs, as opposed to the junk food, which is going to have a lot of things going on that your body doesn't need. So you just have to know how to do this, and that's what this show is all about. So anyway, back to our topic today, which is, what is alcohol doing to your body? And if you missed what we talked about so far, go to my website, drjoe.com, and we're going to archive all our shows, our audios, our videos, and you can watch and listen and catch up for things. And I know I talk fast. You're not the first person to tell me, surprise, surprise. So the reason is, I'm from New Jersey, first of all. You have to talk fast to survive. But the second thing is, we got so much to cover. And I always know that I'm not going to get everything in that I want to cover in every show. So we can go to the website. The website is there. It's no charge at this point. You can listen to any show you want to over and over and over again. Send it to your friends. And the website's drjoe.com. So we talked about what alcohol is doing to the brain and the body. Now we're going to talk about some ways to detoxify the body. If you do have this alcohol in your system, how do you get it out? Or how do you do the repair work? Sinus infection, stuffy head, runny nose, congestion, cough, sore throat. All signs that the body's not right. It's not healthy. So a couple of things. Number one, you got to drink water. Now, I don't drink. But if you do drink, because I'm a realist, most people do, I'm going to suggest you do this. For every drink you have, you drink 3 glasses of water. Because I joke in my lectures, you ever notice how you drink 1 beer, you pee out 3? Where'd those other 2 beers come from? Your body is giving up its own vital fluids to get the alcohol out of the system. Because if alcohol gets into the brain, it can destroy brain cells. It gets into the liver. It can get into the colon, increase risk of cancer. So your body, in its infinite wisdom, is trying to get the alcohol out of the system. You have a chemical released in your brain called antidiuretic hormone. Antidiuretic hormone prevents you from peeing all day. So what happens is when you drink alcohol, it suppresses your production of antidiuretic hormone, allowing you to pee more. Why would we do that in nature? So that the alcohol gets out of your system as quickly as possible. The problem with that is you start to dehydrate. And when you dehydrate, your brain shrinks. That hurts. It's called what? Hangover, right? Part of a hangover. So your brain will shrink. Your muscles will shrink. Your organs will shrink. You'll dehydrate. You'll feel weak. Your muscles will get weak. You're not getting good circulation. It can raise your blood pressure. So the body is doing exactly what it's supposed to do by shutting down what's called vasopressin, antidiuretic hormone, so you don't pee yourself so much. So you do pee more, so you don't hold the water so much. So the body's doing what it's supposed to do, and you've got to see if you can combat that by drinking more water. So for every drink you have, 3 glasses of water. Whether it's a shot or beer or whatever it is, glass of wine, 3 glasses of water. It's one of the best ways to flush the junk out of the system. If you drink half your body weight in purified or distilled or filtered water, that's a good thing. Now, I weigh about 190 pounds. I don't think I'm going to drink 80 ounces of water, I'll be honest with you. But I probably drink about 40 or 50, maybe 60 on most days. And that's a good thing. And you'll be amazed. Aside from taking Dr. Joe's Super Greens and Dr. Joe's Essential Source, the next step you want to do is drink more water. And when you start putting that water in, boy, you're going to feel great. Now, here's a little trick. If you're old, you might have to get up and pee a lot. Well, what does that mean? Well, that means you're going to interrupt your sleep, and you need sleep for the body to heal. So my trick is that I drink most of my water before 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That gives me from 3 to 6 to make sure I've kind of, got all the water out of me. 3 to 9, And then right around 9, 10 o'clock, if I go to bed, then my body is able to sleep better. Don't have to get up and pee so much. So that's just a little trick I do. It'll probably work for you too, pretty nicely. Got to drink that water, though. It's very important. And try to get a filtered water. On my website, I have some water filters you can put under your kitchen sink. But get yourself a water filter. Invest in that. And once again, you keep saying, well, Dr. Joe, buy this, buy that. No. You're not going to be eating what I call the 7 deadly sins of nutrition: alcohol, meat, sugar, dairy, coffee, soda, and artificial sweetener. So if you're not eating all that junk and you're eating good foods like fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds, you're going to save so much money and you're going to feel so much better. And you're probably going to save a ton of money on healthcare bills that you will have so much money left over that you can afford to get a water filter. Now, I have a whole house water filter. They're expensive. But we have some just for the kitchen sink. You can have them under your kitchen sink. So at least you have a place to drink pure water and wash your fruits and vegetables and your dishes. Because if you're washing your dishes in dirty water, by the way, guess what? There's a little residue on those dishes. Not a good idea. So like these, some things I go nuts over. I go nuts over a lot of things. You put it in the dishwasher and it prevents water streaks. You ever see that? Well, what are they doing? They're putting a coating, a chemical on your dishes so that the water doesn't stick to it. Nice. Dishes look pretty. However, what happens to that chemical when you put food or drink in there? It's going to dissolve and get into your system. I'd want to get less chemicals in my body. Soaking in a tub, if you want to get some junk out of your system. 4 cups of Epsom salts and about 2 cups of baking soda in a bathtub with warm water. You want to get crazy? Add some lavender oil to it. A few drops of lavender oil help you relax as well. Soak for about 20 minutes. This helps decrease inflammation in the body, reduces muscle aches. It also helps the body get rid of junk into the system. Now, most of us, one of the nutrients a lot of us are deficient in is magnesium. I always say Dr. Joe's Super Greens, Dr. Joe's Essential Source, and omega-3 fatty acid, adrenal support, and B vitamins. That's my regiment every day. And I eat a good diet. A lot of nuts and seeds, so I get lots of magnesium. But a lot of people are deficient in magnesium. So soaking in Epsom salts is actually magnesium. It's magnesium salt. So when magnesium gets into the body, it can relax your muscles. Now, as a chiropractor, I'm very concerned about your muscles and your joints. So if you can relax the muscles by soaking in Epsom salts, that can be a good thing. Now, be careful about how much Epsom salt you put in your body, because it's magnesium or magnesium supplements. That's what they make milk of magnesia out of. And milk of magnesia causes what? The bowels to let go. So just be careful how much you put in there. You might not be leaving the house for that day. But magnesium is really important to help relax the body. And by soaking in it, it can actually help the body relax. And the bowels are a muscle. So if they're all spasmed up and you're constipated, your bowels aren't moving at least once a day, preferably 2 to 3 times a day, you probably need to get them moving. I have something called Dr. Joe's Intestinal Cleanser. That's on my website, drjoe.com. And when patients' bowels aren't moving properly, we always, as a chiropractor, we check the nerve supply in the low back because that's the nerve to the bowels. So if you have a pinched nerve there, we have to unpinch it. Then we get you on a good diet. We might put you on Dr. Joe's intestinal cleanser for short term to get everything kind of prime the pump, so to speak, and get everything working properly. And we've got a ton of other supplements too. I did about 12 or 13 supplements I've created over the years, and they're on my website, drjoe.com. Juicing. Juicing is a good idea to help detoxify. However, here's the thing. I have a juicer. I haven't used it in years. Why? It's a lot of work. You got to dig it out. You got to put it on the counter. You got to get the vegetables. You got to wash them. You got to cut them up, put them in a juicer, juice it, drink the juice, take the fiber. You can throw it away or make salad with it, make soup with it. Take the juicer, clean it, dry it, put it away, take it back out again. So juicing can be a little pain in the fanny. And I understand that. However, it's great for you. If you're going to juice, I want to make sure you're juicing vegetable juice mainly with a little bit of fruit. Too much fruit, too much sugar. Sugar can have an adverse effect on the liver, just like alcohol can have an adverse effect on the liver. So a little bit of fruit, mostly vegetable, but here's a little trick for you. Save money, save time. Dr. Joe's Essential Source. You heard me talk about it. We take about 13 different fruits and vegetables, juice them, take the water out at a very low temperature, and what's left is a powder. We use the low temperature so the enzymes aren't destroyed. Then we add prebiotics, probiotics, digestive enzymes, a complete multivitamin. It's all in there. So if you take a scoop of Dr. Joe's Essential Source, it's about 5 to 10 servings of raw fruits and vegetables, juiced in a powder. How cheap is that? It costs about just over $1 a scoop. So pretty easy to do and a lot more convenient. So I do Super Greens and Essential Source for one of the many reasons every day to cleanse my body and detoxify my body. Because every day, even though I eat really well and I get chiropractic care and I keep my body in motion, you still build up waste products. And you want to get those waste products flushed out of the system as quickly as you can. So that's why we take the powdered fruits and vegetables and then we add a complete multivitamin. Because another way you want to help your body heal if you do drink or if you don't drink is make sure you're getting the proper amount of nutrients. Now, years ago, 30, 40 years ago, sounds so old. When I was your age, young man, 30, 40 years ago, we didn't have to worry about a lot of steroids and hormones and chemicals and pesticides and genetically modified foods and weed killers. And it's just a mess. The food supply today is just a mess. So what I do is we take the Super Greens, the Essential Source, and then we add a prebiotic and a probiotic to help you digest better and a complete multivitamin. So when the soil was healthier, I was going to say younger, but it was younger, I guess, but healthier, it had a lot more nutrients in it. I know last week, it was a couple of weeks ago, I did a show on organics, and organic food has higher levels of nutrients in it, sometimes 40, 50, 60% more nutrients. And if you're eating a non-organic fruits and vegetables, a lot of the nutrients are zero. Because even though you have a head of lettuce, the organic and the non-organic look exactly the same, the organic soil is going to have a lot more nutrients to put into the lettuce or whatever it is. So make sure you're getting a high-quality multivitamin like Dr. Joe's Essential Source and easy to digest. And you want it processed with as little heat as possible. Because a lot of times if you take a supplement, they compress it. And they use heat to compress it. Heat destroys a lot of the nutrients. And when they compress it, it's really hard for you to digest. And as a chiropractor, we've taken hundreds of thousands of x-rays in my career. And I'll look at people and I'll see the undigested pills sitting in their colon on the x-ray. It shows up on the x-ray. And I'll say, you take supplements? Oh, absolutely, doc, every day. I said, here they are. On their way out, they never got absorbed. My gosh, no way. So a lot of the cheap supplements are they're being ingested, but they're not being digested, so they're not being absorbed properly. So make sure you get yourself a good nutrient. I always take the Dr. Joe Super Greens as well, which is wheatgrass, barley grass, and alfalfa grass. And before I went on the air, I was talking to one of my coworkers, and I always laugh. People are so proud when they do something. Like people come up to me and say, I had broccoli last night. I said, good for you. Yeah, good boy. It's a good boy. And I pat him on, no, I don't pat him on the head. But I think that, it's like the doggy went, ooh, look, I didn't pee inside. And I think it's great. I'm not picking on my friends and my coworkers. It's so endearing when they do that. But somebody came up to me and said, my boyfriend and I started doing shots of wheatgrass. Then she looked at me and says, stuff is awful. I said, yeah, if you ever done a shot of pure wheatgrass, it's strong, has a real strong flavor to it. But we take wheatgrass and juice it, and then we put it in a powder, and that's what we put into Super Greens, wheatgrass, barley grass, and alfalfa grass. And then we add chlorella and spirulina, which is a great source of omega-3 fatty acids. And then we add Dulse, which is a great source of iodine, because most people are deficient in iodine. And we want to get those iodine levels up, because every cell in the body, one way or another, needs iodine. And most of us are deficient in iodine. So that's why we have it. And that's why the Super Green's the essential source of the granddaddy of all the supplements, and then we add other things to it. And the reason we have other supplements, why don't we put it all in one? Somebody said, why don't you put it all in one? Well, it would be this big bag of supplements you'd take every day. So, and not everybody needs everything either. Like in the summer, I don't take vitamin D. I'm out in the sun. Fall, winter, and spring, I take Dr. Joe's vitamin D. I take about 5,000 international units a day. Helps my immune system, helps me build strong bones, helps my brain function more efficiently. So supplements are really important when it comes to detoxifying, because we're talking about alcohol today, and getting the body functioning normally again. And again, as a chiropractor, we're worried about the nervous system too. And if you're not getting the right nutrients, the nervous system can't work. So you can irritate a nerve chemically or physically. And chemically is what we're talking about here. Physically, if you have neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain, numbness, tingling, knee problems, foot issues, chances are it's a pinched nerve. And if you have a pinched nerve, what's the most logical thing to do? Unpinch it. So if you want to make an appointment to come see us for chiropractic, get the stomach check, pain management, nutrition, go to my website, drjoe.com. We'd be more than happy to set you up a time to come see us. And we in the Atlanta area, we have offices in Marietta, Duluth, and Stockbridge. And you can come and see us, and my doctors will meet with you. Hopefully I'll get to meet with you too. And we'll sit down and put together a protocol designed specifically for you. Stop suffering needlessly. The biggest complaint I get, why didn't I do this sooner? And my answer is, I don't know. How long have you been listening to my shows? Well, 10 years, 20 years. Okay. Why haven't you done it yet? I don't know. So don't be one of those I don't know folks. Stop suffering. Come on in. Let's see if we can help you. And if we can help you, we'll tell you that too. I need to say that more often because I have patients call up and say, well, Dr. Joe, I don't know if you can help me. Come in. Let's find out. So drjoe.com, we'll get that set up for you. The other thing we need to do is we're talking about detoxifying. You got to cut out the white bread, the white sugar, the white flour, the whites we call them. Because sugar, you know, is no good for you. It's bad for your liver. Alcohol is a sugar. Anything that ends in OL, xylitol, alcohol. OL means it's a form of sugar. But breads, cookies, cakes, donuts, and pastas, guess what? Those are sugars too. Even if sugar isn't added, the grains, when they're digested, are sugar. And when you put sugar in your body, not a good idea. They mess with your immune system. In fact, I got to start bringing in copies of my books and my supplements. For those of you watching on television, I can show you this stuff. But my most recent book is called Prescription for Extreme Health. And in there, we talk about the immune system and sugar. It's one of the it's a great book, by the way. If you don't have it, you need to get it. It's an awesome book. And we talk about how if you eat the equivalent, well, a white blood cell. Let's go back up a little bit. A white blood cell can kill about 14 bad guys before it dies, on average. If you drink a can of soda, that same white blood cell can kill about one bad guy, one pathogen, bacteria, germ, before it dies. So essentially, short term, you're weakening your immune system by 14 times. Now, I like sugar just like you. I like my breads, cookies, cakes, donuts, and pastas. If you listened earlier, I was talking about bagels. And I like that stuff. But once you have it and it stimulates the dopamine receptor sites in your brain and you start getting high and you want more, you got to stop. You got a problem. And so when you start craving something, that's called an addiction. And an addiction is something you're doing that you reschedule your life around that has an adverse effect on your life. So sugar is very much, I believe, coffee and sugar are the two big addictions, way higher than legal and illegal drugs. So you're stimulating the centers in your brain that give you pleasure. You got to stop that. The only way to stop it is to stop it. Now, I use stevia as a sweetener. I have with me today in the studio a big glass of iced tea. It's an organic tea. What do I have? Spearmint, I think, today. And, of course, it's organic. And I sweeten it with stevia, and I just love it. And during the summer, I'll drink 2-3 big containers of iced tea every day. But it's not your typical black tea, which, by the way, oftentimes is high in aluminum, even if it's organic, because it naturally absorbs aluminum from the soil. Many times they'll use bleach to bleach the bags, and so that's not good for you. So I try to do the herbal teas for my for my iced teas. But I sweeten it with stevia, which is great. Best foods to consume are what? Say it with me. Come on. Fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds. Try to do something raw at every meal. And I say raw, broccoli, cucumbers, tomatoes, avocados. Dr. Joe's Super Greens, Dr. Joe's Essential Source. See how easy I make it for you? But my world is probably different than most. I start out with Super Greens and Essential Source every day. Then I'll have something else. I'll maybe have some nuts. Maybe I'll have a little bit of oatmeal. I don't even cook the oatmeal. I just take some old-fashioned organic oats, maybe add some raisins and some coconut milk to it. You don't have to cook that stuff. It's pre-cooked, by the way. And so I'll have that. Snack is usually like a handful of nuts if I get hungry. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Lunch, I try to eat a salad. And I just throw whatever in there, whatever I have in the refrigerator. So broccoli, cucumbers, tomatoes, avocados, onions, spring mix, romaine, whatever it is. I make my own salad dressings usually. And in my book, Eating Right for the Health of It, I have a whole chapter on salad dressings. That's how important it is. And I use apple cider vinegar, about 1/3 apple cider vinegar, 2/3 olive oil, maybe a little bit of water. And then if you want to sweeten it up, throw in some stevia. You can throw in some berries if you have them, maybe puree them a little bit and throw in some berry puree, strawberries, blackberries, even frozen works, cherries. And it just adds a little sweetener to it if you want to really get crazy. Woo, get nuts. And then I'll add some nutritional yeast to my salad because nutritional yeast is loaded with amino acids, it's loaded with B vitamins, and I love the flavor. Tomatoes, jalapenos, I like spicy food. I'll throw some jalapenos in there. And whatever you got in the refrigerator. Cucumbers, like I said, radishes. And have a salad for lunch. Here's what's going to happen. Day 1, you're hungry. Day 2, you're still hungry after lunch. Day 3, you're starting to feel a little better. By about day 4 or 5, you start going, I feel really good. So then maybe 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock rolls around, you get a little hungry, another handful of nuts, maybe some fruit. And then what you'll find is if you have a little snack around 3, 4 o'clock, come dinner time, you're going to eat a lot less food. And your liver doesn't have to break down all these toxins from your food. And you're going to save a ton of money. I'll throw some sunflower seeds on my salad too. I like that. So now I want to cover this real quick before we go. People always say, well, Dr. Joe, I heard that red wine is good for your heart. We're talking about alcohol and how it affects your body. And the answer is absolutely positively yes. Red wine is very good for your heart. It has antioxidants and polyphenolic compounds, they're called. And these things help heal the heart, help the body, help break up inflammation in the body. And it's awesome. However, it's not the red wine that's good for you. It's the red part that's good for you. It's the grapes. And the darker the color of the food, traditionally, the more nutrients it has. So I like to add variety and color to my diet. And you can buy frozen organic vegetables and fruits too, by the way, folks, if you don't want to have the fresh stuff laying around. I have a freezer full of frozen. And sometimes I'll have fresh. I usually do. Sometimes I'll mix a little frozen in there. But it's not the red wine that's good for you. It's not the alcohol. It's the grapes. Make sure you do organic because grapes are highly sprayed. A lot of chemicals are used on grapes. So if you're going to drink wine, drink the organic. Now, I don't drink, so I can't really judge. But a lot of my friends who do say the organic wine even tastes better. And cost-wise is insignificant. I've looked at the prices. It's very insignificant, the difference in organic versus non-organic. So if you're going to do wine, that's great. Make sure it's organic. You don't get all those pesticides. And you're going to get higher levels of the polyphenolic compounds and the proanthocyanidins and the resveratrol and all those cool nutrients that have big words and big names on them that help you heal. So once again, you have to eat something anyway. You might as well eat good foods. And I could do a lot more on that. We just don't have time. I got so much to cover. I just don't have time. I need more time. Anyway, if you like what you're hearing, go to my website, drjoe.com. Well over 1,000 hours of archive radio and videos there. If you have questions, you can send them to me through the website. I'm more than happy to answer your questions for you. If you want to get my supplements, Super Greens, Essential Source, the B vitamins, digestive enzymes, probiotics, vitamin D. We've got a bunch of other ones. Those are on the website too, drjoe.com. We have something for the immune system. We have, that's Dr. Joe's Wellness Booster. We have Seasonal Tonic if you do feel cold coming on. So I've got it covered for you, folks. I know what you want because I want it too. Got to remember, I'm a patient. Everything I've ever invented, I did it for me. Because I'm a patient too, and I want to make sure I'm getting the best quality stuff. And so the website's great. We have articles there too, and you can find out a lot of good information. We also have an Amazon page if you want to get our products on Amazon. My books, Eating Right for the Health of It, Prescription for Extreme Health. We want to be your doctors. So what I didn't get to is how alcohol causes allergic reactions, if you have an addiction, how to recover from it, alcohol and breast cancer, colon cancer. We covered a little bit of that, but trust me, it's not a good thing. If you're going to do it, like everything else, I prefer you do organic and drink a lot of water. Now, folks, I'm a chiropractor. My team of doctors are chiropractors. If you want to set up an appointment to come see us, we'd love the opportunity to work with you for neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain, digestive issues, nutrition. We want to get you well. So if you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, If maybe people come and say, Dr. Joe, I want to get off my medication. I said, don't do it yet. Let's get you healthy first so you don't need the medication. Second Opinions, we'd be more than happy to work with you with Second Opinions. drjoe.com, and you can find us real quickly. We're right there. And when you have questions, I know you get lost. Try to send them to me through the website. Sometimes people go to Facebook. Oh, follow me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram, sign up for my newsletter. That's on the website too. But send it through my website. It's a lot easier for me to answer. Again, the website's drjoe.com. Hey, folks, thanks for listening. Tell your friends about the show. We'll catch you next time. Thanks for listening to For the Health of It. Remember to subscribe to this podcast, and I'll help you naturally get well and stay well. You can also listen to and call into my radio show live Sunday evenings from 7 to 9 Eastern Time on WSBRadio.com and on a WSB Radio app.